Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Overlay Universe Structure Deck. The entire contents just got spoiled or revealed, leaked early, whatever you want to call it. We got all the cards here, but we're really here to check out and highlight some of the newer cards, as well as going over the cards. It would be the money cards, the reprints, so like, is this actually worth picking up? So first off, to answer your question really quick, we've got over $50 in value, but I do have to mention something really quick because in the OCG, because they're getting this in just 2 more days over here. But nonetheless, there is what's called the Emperor's Doors pack, and it's like a promo thing that you can get along with the structure deck. Sometimes in the TCG, we just get the cards without even needing to get something else, but they may part it out. I don't know for sure. We might not even get this until next year in 2022, but the contents did get leaked early over here, so we're here to go over basically the spoiler list, what's inside over here, and if it's worth picking up. So I will be, just as a heads up, including the cards that do come out in the Emperor's Doors pack, which does include Dragner, which is a very, very important card for like in terms of like value. But again, I'm just going to be counting that card as well, just as a heads up in here. And you definitely will be getting over $10, which is the MSRP of the new structure deck, just as a heads up. Okay, so first off, some of the newer cards and going over the highlights of the new cards that we'll probably see play in other decks, because, you know, sometimes people just want to buy a structure deck for like one card. It happens all the time. Sometimes one card alone can be worth more than $10. So Utopic Astral Hope over here is a new card. It is going to be a Monster Light Warrior effect. It's level 4 and it has the effect if an Exceed monster just on the field, you can special summon from your hand, and then you can send another card from your hand, field, or graveyard to add one of these cards from your deck to your hand. An Exceed spell trap, Automat spell trap, Zexal spell trap, or a Number spell trap. This card is absolutely amazing. It can be used just for rank up, sold like Rusty Bardiche variants. They can definitely make great use out of Utopic Astral Hope. Now I won't be going over the effects of every single card, but I do want to highlight the ones that are like actually important. There's only really 2 here. The next one is number 99 Utopia Dragner. So this is a really good card. Don't worry, you're not going to actually use 3 level 12s to summon it, but the quick effect is you can detach 2 materials to special summon 1 number monster that has a number between 1 and 100 inclusive in its name. From your extra deck, it's treated as Exceed summon, and during the turn you activate this effect, can't summon things except for Exceed monsters, and other monsters can't attack directly, but you summon it during your opponent's turn, so it's not that big of a deal. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you change the attack to 0, and that's the effect of it. It's a really, really good card, though. Other decks will be making use of these cards for sure, but there's also a few other cards. Now, if you guys are curious, is this deck actually good to actually play? I mean, it depends. I think 6 negates is a pretty good, you know, way to play Yu-Gi-Oh! This will obviously require you to have other cards. It's not going to just be just the structure deck, but I will also link the video of the gameplay if you guys wonder, like, is this thing any good? Yes. If you go first and your opponent has no hand traps, you will absolutely dominate. Now, if they do have hand traps, you can throw up maybe 2 or 3 negates against, like, if they use 1 hand trap, depending on when they use it. But it's really tough to play against multiple negates. Going second with this deck will definitely be rough, but I've got 2 different like builds and gameplay. One of has some of the Galaxy stuff in there, but if you guys want to see the gameplay, I will also pin that down below. Dragner is a fantastic card, though. It definitely will see play in Yu-Gi-Oh! There's also other newer things that will be introduced in here, like the Zexal field, where your opponent can activate cards or effects in response to an effect that targets an Exceed monster you control, so you can really start beefing up if you want to do like a Zexal weapon build. Heck, some of the Zexal weapon stuff hasn't been reprinted for so long, it's actually kind of rose in price. Not by that much, because it's still Zexal weapons at the end of the day, but there's also Utopic Sages, is another fantastic card for anyone that's interested in playing that. I remember on like Dev Pro, this was super popular to play a long time ago when it was just the ZW, now we have the ZS. There's also a hyper rank up Magic Utopia Force, another great card for, again, them, you know, but there's a lot of other better options if you want to like play it in other decks as quick plays and stuff. There's a little Contract of Destiny. I mean, it takes a while for it to be used, but then you get something like a Utopia. It's whatever, really. Numbers Protect, it might see some play if people are playing the Utopia deck, but it basically is the Omni Negate, so it negates anything as long as you control a number Exceed monster, and then you get to reset it when an Exceed is destroyed by battle by card effect, and then it banishes itself when it leaves the field. You can unfortunately only use 1 per turn, but it's still basically like a double negate. So if you go first, more than likely you will be winning anyways. It might be like a win harder card, so that is another newer card here. Another newer thing is the astral printing of Utopia. This is more so for collectors than anything, but this will also be getting a printing in here. So for the collectors, yeah, that's going to be awesome. And so on to some of the money cards. Now, obviously, there's a lot of cards that are like 25 cents. We're not going to like really include those here, but we're looking at easily over $50 in value. And I'm not even counting these cards because I can't look these up in TCG Player, as this doesn't exist. But keep in mind, all of these prices that I'm mentioning are at the time of me making this video. Obviously, later down the line, these could would increase or decrease, but that is, you know, obvious. But first off, we got like Onomatopoeia, it's like $1.50 over here. We've got Gaga Clerk, it's like a solid $5 card, surprisingly. It just only came out in Cosmo Blazer, I guess. A lot of these things just haven't had the reprint. And then World of Superstars, Gaga Sister is like $1.50 to like $3 in terms of price point. Again, like adding these all up, they slowly start to add up. And we got the Lightning Blade over here, another card that just hasn't had the reprint. A lot of stuff in Cosmo Blazer over here. It's like $2 to $3. We got also Tornado Breaker, it's like $2 to $4. Again, another card, Cosmo Blazer, and there's Legacy of Valiant, Asura Strike, just as a rare, $1 to $3. And then this is where it actually gets good. So this is the card that I think most people would be wanting. Keep in mind, we may get 1 or 2 banlists by the time we get this new Overlay Universe. So I'm thinking that Maxi has the potential to come back. The lowest Maxi is $10. So, I mean, if we're looking at value, the other card would be easily like $5 to $6 just for Maxi. Especially if it comes off the ban list, Maxi Common will be very, very expensive for sure. All the Maxis are going to shoot up in price if it obviously comes off of the ban list, because if you're playing Maxi, you're going to want 3 copies of it, right? There's no brainer there, but that's a fantastic reprint. It's probably one of the best like reprints of like a generic card in here. And then on top of that, we have the Utopic Dragon, number 99. So that card's like $15 at the lowest. There's also the other one that's like 10 to 30. Like the prices can vary, you know, obviously since there's not that many printings, it's only got 2 printings of it. And then on top of that, the Shark Rate's like $1.50-ish. So anything like over $1.50, I was like, okay, I'll kind of just add it in. But there are cards that are like basically 98 cents that I just didn't count. But again, if you add all these cards up, and we'll go briefly over like kind of the other cards in a moment here. There's also Utopia Double, which is like easily like a $13, $14 card. So again, adding all of these up, you'll get easily over $50. Especially since I didn't even count a bunch of the other cards, because there are a lot of other things in here. And going over some of the highlights, I guess, like Kageto Kage, Tin Goldfish, these like easy summon things. Skullmeister is another fantastic card, but it's not really valued in terms of like money wise. Really, there's Rainbow Karibo, but I would say most of these cards have either been reprinted or like Monster Reborn, Moonfrost of the Army. These are great cards and they work, you know, well with the deck, but these aren't like great reprints. And someone that's not interested in playing this is going to be picking this up. Then pretty much the highlights are going to be Max C, obviously as a reprint, and in the TCG we might not get this card. We might just get it like a replacement of one of the cards that will be coming in the Emperor's Door pack. If we don't get it, I could see it being kind of a rough pick for maybe some people that aren't interested in picking up Utopia, but these 2 cards alone will be a couple bucks. I think at least this one will. This one will definitely see some play in a lot of different decks. I think it's a pretty awesome card. But yeah, most of the stuff is just stuff that we've seen before, like Chain Summon, like High Five, this kind of like, none of these cards are like really expensive. They're like under 25 cents. So I didn't like include those in like our little price point. But again, if we get everything in here, like I said, I am counting this because in the TCG, we don't know what we're getting exactly, or if it's getting parted out for other stuff. But like I said, if you guys do want to see the gameplay, that will be pinned down below. But let me know, guys, what you think of the Overlay Universe now that we have the full list. Do you guys like it? Are you guys planning on picking this up? I think for people, if there is a Maxi, reprint in here in the TCG and it comes off the ban list, this is a fantastic thing to pick up because Maxi is a fantastic Yu-Gi-Oh card. But if you're not interested in playing Utopia, I would hold off and I'd probably just invest into something else. But the deck is really not that bad. As long as you go turn 1, your opponent has no hand traps, or you just have the Call by the Grave, or another way to respond to it. I think it could be an okay thing, but that's what it would basically lose to. Plus, it also would lose really hard to Maxi because you're going to be special summoning like crazy with this deck, so you can maybe deck your opponent out. That will be a goal and a challenge for someone. But anyways, that's going to go ahead and wrap up the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like on it. If you guys are new here and you want to be up to date on new Yu-Gi-Oh stuff as soon as it comes out, hit subscribe, turn that bell, and you'll definitely see more very soon. But take care, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. And again, if you want to see the gameplay, it'll be pinned down below. But take care. I'm out. Peace.